This thing you're chasing so fiercely, it's not gonna give you what you think it will. That's one of life's crueler truths. And it took me 50 years to understand. I need to tell you something, and I really need you to listen with an open heart. The money that never seems like enough, the promotion that's always the next step, the dream house. What do you think is going to make your life work? The answer might surprise you. I'm William. I'm 77 years old, and I spent exactly 50 years of my life chasing things that would never fill the hole inside me. 50 years. Half a century. That's an absurdly long time to dedicate your energy, your time, and your love to the wrong thing. So, please, just sit with me for a few minutes and allow yourself to dive into this conversation. Because what I discovered might change your life. Because what took me a lifetime of mistakes, of losses, and of relentless searching to finally figure out, I'm going to try to give to you right now. All of us, at some point, fall into this trap. We all catch ourselves saying, I'll be happy when. I said that my whole life. My damn entire life, repeating those phrases like an empty mantra. And you know what? The irony is just cruel. I got the promotion. I paid off the house, every last cent. I retired with a good pension. People respect me, I guess. At 77, you stop paying attention to those little external details that once seemed so vital. At 77, your perspective, it shifts dramatically. But here's what no one tells you, the secret that society and the daily grind hide. When you get the thing, that one thing that promised eternal happiness, there's always, invariably, another thing. Always. It's a never-ending cycle. The finish line moves, like an unattainable horizon. You think you're almost there, that victory is within your grasp. I spent 50 years running towards a finish line that, in reality, didn't exist. A mirage that consumed me. Let me tell you something about myself. Something I'm not proud of, but that shaped who I was for a very long time. I grew up poor. Not starving poor. Not with my belly rumbling daily, but poor enough to feel the weight of shame, of humiliation, and social exclusion in my soul. My childhood can explain a lot. I remember the metallic smell of the factory ingrained in my father's clothes. My father worked in a factory his whole life, ever since I can remember. He'd come home exhausted every night, his hands calloused, thick, and his nails cracked from the hard, repetitive manual labor. And people, those who considered themselves better, they still looked at him with disdain. I watched it, every detail. I was maybe 10, 11 years old, just a kid absorbing the world. And I saw how people treated my father. There was a coldness in their stares, an absence of respect that just burned inside me. That marked me deeply, like an invisible scar. Something inside me, a childish but powerful voice, said with fierce conviction, that's not gonna be me. I'm gonna be somebody. Vidi som inseru. I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna be somebody. And that promise, made to myself at such a tender age, became the driving force of my life. So that's what I did. I worked. My God, how I worked. I remember weeks of 60, 70 hours, sometimes even more. I lived for work. I breathed the company. I dreamed of the next project. And in that process, I missed my children growing up. I missed school plays, family dinners that should have been sacred. I missed my son's baseball games, my daughter's theater performances. I justified it to myself that I was building a future, that I was providing for them. But deep down, I was building a wall between us. I was becoming somebody, yeah, but at what cost? At 52, I reached the peak of my corporate career. I was vice president of a big company, with a corner office on the top floor, a spectacular view of the city that I barely had time to appreciate. People now called me Sir, with the deference I once craved so much. My name was engraved in gold letters on my office door. I had the power, the status, the money. And you know what? I felt nothing. I didn't feel the euphoria I expected. Not the full satisfaction I was promised. I mean, not nothing absolute. I felt, I don't know how to describe that strange, unsettling sensation, empty. I guess that's the most precise word. It was like I had climbed this whole steep mountain with sweat and sacrifice. And when I reached the top, panting and exhausted, there was nothing there waiting for me. Just the immensity of the sky and the vision of another mountain, even taller and colder, waiting for me to climb it. I remember sitting in that expensive leather chair, my office door closed, the air conditioning humming softly, watching the cars below that looked like ants, and thinking with a pang of despair, is this it? Is this what I gave up everything for? To feel this? The silence of that office was deafening, an echo of the emptiness I felt inside, an emptiness that no material achievement seemed capable of filling. It took me another 20 years to understand what had happened, to unravel the enigma of that feeling. 20 years. I'm a slow learner, I suppose. But life has its own lessons and its own time to teach them. But here's what I finally discovered, the revelation that changed everything. I wasn't chasing money. I wasn't chasing titles. I wasn't even chasing respect, truly. All those were just masks. I was chasing a feeling. I wanted to feel that I was enough, that I mattered, that I was worthy of being here, of existing. That's what I was really seeking so intently, with all my soul. And I, in my ignorance, thought that if I just achieved enough, if I just climbed high enough in the social and corporate hierarchy, I would finally feel it, that fullness. But the truth is brutally simple. You can't get that feeling from a job title. You can't get it from a fat paycheck. You can't get it from people calling you sir or saluting you. That vital feeling, the feeling of being enough, of being worthy, of love and respect. I could have given it to myself all along. I didn't need anyone's permission to feel it. I didn't need to earn it through hard work or sacrifices. I just needed to decide with unwavering conviction that I was worthy, that I mattered, that I was enough exactly as I was, with all my flaws and imperfections. I could have done that at 25, in the prime of my youth. I did it at 73. That's 48 years I wasted trying to earn something that was already mine by right. Such a simple truth, but it eluded me for almost half a century of life. The same thing with different nuances happened with my marriage, to whom I owed so much and to whom I gave so little. Different story, but the same fundamental mistake, the same blindness regarding what truly mattered. I thought that if I provided enough, if I gave my wife the big house, the new, luxurious cars, the expensive trips, the jewelry, the good things in life, she would be happy. She would be happy. We would be happy. That was my job, right? To provide, to ensure material comfort. So I provided like crazy, dedicating every ounce of energy to sustain that marriage with material possessions. But you know what my wife, the woman I loved, truly wanted deep in her soul? She wanted me to be present, body and soul, really listening to her, looking into her eyes, sharing life. And I was at work or thinking about work or too tired from work to be any kind of company, to have a genuine conversation, to really be there. The truth is, I was absent. We almost broke up when I was about 48, a crisis that almost destroyed us. And it wasn't because I wasn't successful, because we didn't have money or comfort. It was because I was absent, even though I was physically there. Even when I was home, sitting on the couch, I was gone, as she would say, lost in my work thoughts, in my ambitions. She told me once, I remember it as clearly as anything that ever happened in my life. She looked at me with a pain in her eyes that still haunts me, and she said, William, I don't need the money. I need you. I need you. I need you to look at me, to really see me. I need you to listen to me, to understand how I feel. I need you to be here, present with me. And I, in my stubbornness and blindness, didn't understand. I thought I was here. I was paying the bills, wasn't I? I was keeping a roof over our heads, making sure nothing was lacking. It took me a long time, years of arguments and heavy silences, to understand the abyssal difference between providing for someone and being present with someone. They are not the same thing, not even close. One is material, the other is spiritual, emotional, the very essence of human connection. Today, I'm 77. Most of my friends are my age, or a little older, or a little younger. Some of them, unfortunately, are already gone, and I miss them every day. And at this stage of life, observing my peers, I've noticed something interesting, a striking dichotomy. Those who are unhappy, who carry a weight in their eyes, they're still chasing something, still comparing their lives to others, still keeping score, as if life were a never-ending competition. I have a friend, he's 84, and he's still furious, with a rage that consumes him because his neighbor has a nicer car, a newer, shinier model, 84 years old. And his unhappiness still resides in his neighbor's grass. He's still looking over the fence, measuring himself against other people, and because of that, he's miserable, absolutely miserable, every single day. I have another friend. She's 79, and everything she talks about, all her conversations, is about what she doesn't have, about her lacks and complaints. Her knees hurt, and that's a daily tragedy. Her kids don't call enough, a constant lament. Her retirement isn't big enough, an inexhaustible source of frustration. Everything is a complaint. Everything is an unsolvable problem. She's been unhappy since I've known her, and she's going to be unhappy until the day she dies, because she's still waiting for something outside of her to change, for the world to adjust to her expectations so she can finally be okay, can find peace. But the change she needs is within, not without. But then I have other friends, and these people, I don't know exactly what it is, what the secret ingredient is, but they have something special, a lightness in their soul, a peace that radiates from them. They're not trying to prove anything to anyone. They're not keeping score. They're just here, present in the moment, curious about the small things in life, enjoying what's right in front of them, without anxiety for the future or regret for the past. My friend Earl, he's 86, and that man is, without a doubt, the happiest person I know. He doesn't have much in material terms. A small apartment, a fixed income that barely covers expenses. His health isn't the best, with the aches and limitations of age, but he wakes up every morning grateful, with a genuine smile. He's always learning something new, reading a book, asking questions about the world, engaged in life. He told me once, with that quiet wisdom that only age brings, "William, I spent 60 years trying to be somebody, trying to prove my worth. Now I'm just trying to be here in the present, and it's so much better." That's the difference. The thin line that separates happiness from misery. It's not money, although it makes some things easier. It's not perfect health, although that's a blessing. It's not even family, although the support and love of loved ones are a balm for the soul. It's whether you've made peace with yourself. If you've stopped relentlessly chasing and started simply being. It's a choice, an internal decision. You want to know what true freedom is like? I'll tell you with the experience of someone who has lived and learned. It's not having a mountain of money. I have friends with money who are trapped in their own heads, tortured by worries, unable to enjoy anything money can buy. True freedom is when the things that used to bother you deeply, that kept you up at night, don't bother you anymore. When someone says something unpleasant, a criticism, some gossip, and it just rolls off you like water without hitting you, without corroding you inside. When you're not walking around with the desperate need for everyone to like you, for constant approval, when you can look at yourself in the mirror, see a 77-year-old man looking back at you with all the wrinkles and marks of time, and say with deep acceptance, "Yeah, this is me and I'm okay with it. I'm at peace with who I've become." True freedom is not needing anything outside of you to be okay inside. And that, my friend, that takes most people a lifetime to discover. Some people, unfortunately, never discover it. They die still chasing, still waiting, still thinking that happiness is just around the next corner, always one step ahead. Here's the trap, and I want you to really understand this, to let this truth sink into your mind. You think that once you get the thing, whatever it is, you'll be satisfied, that the search will end. But you won't. Satisfaction is fleeting. There's always another thing, another goal, another created need. I paid off my house when I was 58. I thought I'd feel free, that I'd finally relax, that the worry about finances would be one less burden. You know what happened? I didn't relax. I started worrying about the next thing, about the next challenge. Retirement savings, rising healthcare costs, market volatility. What if the market crashes? What if this? What if that? The fear didn't go away when my financial circumstances changed for the better. The fear just found something new to latch onto, a new source of anxiety. And that's when I realized something important, something transformative. Fear doesn't go away when your life gets better, when your external conditions become more favorable. Fear goes away when you change, when you decide, with unwavering conviction, that you won't let it command your life anymore, that it won't dictate your choices and your emotions. When you decide that you're okay right now, today, at this very moment, regardless of what happens tomorrow, regardless of the uncertainties of the future. This is internal work, a journey of the soul. No amount of money can do that for you. No professional achievement, no perfect relationship. It's something you have to do yourself inside you. Everything I thought I wanted, the vice president title, the money in the bank, the big house, the respect of others, I didn't truly want those things. They were just substitutes. I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to feel like I mattered. I wanted to feel loved. And I was looking for those feelings in all the wrong places, in all the wrong directions. I was trying to get them from my job, from my bank statement, from the fickle opinions of other people. But these essential feelings, safety, worth, love, I could have given them to myself at any time. I didn't